In Make It Count in Billions and Billions, we're going to talk about how one can count by weighing, and then that is going to lead us into Avogadro's number and moles.
Avocado number?
Avogadro, not produce, Jesus. After this, we should understand that one can count a large number of small objects by weighing them. And we should also be able to calculate the number of objects in a mass using a mass to number ratio. So, have you guys ever seen this? You guys don't have to copy this down, but have you guys ever seen the how many jelly beans in a jar or how many who's it's in a what's it?
I always lose them.
Yeah.
I always win.
So they actually probably don't count the exact number. So that would take a long time, and it would be extremely frustrating, especially if Jesus were in the room measuring out other things of produce. He'd be like, 4 cucumbers or 47 rutabagas.
In a box.
Yep. So that would be extremely frustrating. So what we do is he's trying to count it. Jesus is so upset.
I'm not a gringo.
That kid right now is like, are you serious?
Are you serious?
I'm sure that's you.
All right. So moving on. So this is where.
Are you serious?
You serious? What if we knew a ratio of the mass of a substance to the number of particles? If we knew the total weight of the particles, you can figure out how many particles there are. So this is what you guys want to write down here.
Okay.
So this is how, like, a company would measure how many Cheerios to put in the Cheerios box. So what they actually do is they calculate a mass ratio of Cheerio to how many Cheerios there are. And then they use that to figure out, they know a total mass of how much should be in the bag, and they just fill that up to get the correct number of Cheerios in there. So why don't you guys, let's do some problem solving. Why don't we try to do this fairly simple one, write down the problem, and I think you guys can figure this out. So I'm going to talk about a couple of problem solving strategies. We'll go over a couple of ways you can figure this out. But what information does this give you right here? Not mass, but what is meters? Meters, height or length. So this gives us 1 brick is equal to 0.20 meters. So I can use this as a ratio. So if I have 25-meter fence, I know that the ratio of bricks to meters is there's 1 brick per 0.20 meters. That's the ratio. Or I could even say, I could use a different ratio and say something like 1 meter would be how many bricks? 5 bricks. So you could do this 5 bricks per meter. So either way, it's saying the same thing. So you take your 25. Honestly, I shouldn't have to tell you guys to not interrupt 5 times. I shouldn't have to tell you 1 time, honestly. That's my opinion. So don't interrupt. It's easy. You don't have to do anything not to interrupt. Right? All you have to do is nothing. Shh. Stop. 1 more time and you're done. Alright? So 25 meters times 1 brick for every 0.2 meters, and I get what? 125 bricks.
What should you divide 25 divided by
5.2, yep.
I got the freaking answer.
So that's how I do it. So 125 bricks in that whole thing. So let's try another example, and then we're going to get started on our activity. You can also think about this, guys. It's the same thing as 25 meters divided by 0.2 meters per brick. You can think about it like that. Either way, the units will cancel out.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So meters cancels out. And what am I left with? What unit? Bricks. Okay?
Yes, sir.